another call. We're going to get started in just 1 second.
So you're going to build a network, but not sure where to start or how to grow your team. You use tools like these to get your message out to ideal prospects. But what do you do when they come up short? You need Buy Social. It's a place you can go to get social, grow your network, convert people, and build a winning team all in one place. It's simple to set up and easy to use, and best of all, it totally fits the way you work. This is it, the one place you go to get the word out. Buy Social is an essential web-based team-building platform that's available anytime, anywhere, to anyone. Buy Social consolidates everything into a familiar web portal design where you recruit new team members automatically, saving you time and money. Buy Social includes a complete set of prospecting and conversion tools for turning your contacts into real team members. Great features include social media management, Facebook fan page creator, a lead page generator, and online presentations. Automated drip marketing campaigns mean you can use Buy Social to continue to market to prospects while you're busy doing other things. Send status updates, log, videos, or video emails using a corporate-approved content library to a few or all of your social profiles at once. Or turn on the autopilot feature to let the system do the work for you. You can also create lead capturing fan page fast with Buy Social's Facebook fan page generator. Deliver web-based presentations on the fly, across town or across the globe. With the Buy Social platform, you'll experience increased prospecting and team-building power, compliant messaging and communication, and a direct selling sales model that can be easily duplicated. Even more important, you'll experience higher distributor success rates, retention, enhanced growth, and profitability. Buy Social gives you better control of all your social prospecting, presentation, and lead capture campaigns. With Buy Social, you could be in your office, your hotel room, or your pajamas. It doesn't really matter. Buy Social transforms the average network marketer into a networking superstar. Buy Social is the easiest way to build your network. It's simple. Go to myvitel.com and request your Buy Social system today.
All right, testing. If you guys can hear me clearly, type Y in the chat box if you can hear me clearly. Those of you on the conference call line, if you go to liveonedream.info, liveonedream.info, you can see what it is that I'm talking about. Now, welcome everybody. This is our Saturday evening live mindset training, and I haven't done a mindset training in about, I don't know, maybe a month now, maybe a little over a month, and I'm excited about doing it tonight because as you might have heard me say before, you know, even when you train, you learn, because this information is not my information. That's the most important thing I want you to understand. This isn't anything that I made up and then I just decided one day that I think I'm a genius and I'm going to go out there and teach people what I believe is the truth. That's not how this is. This is information that I have learned and was taught over the years, and why it's exciting to me is that this is information that never tires and it never gets old. And based on your own experiences, it means something different to you. You're constantly learning and you're constantly going through new experiences. And Lord knows over this past 30 days, I've gone through a lot of new personal experiences, both in my personal life and business life. And so I'm eager to give this training tonight, and thank you guys for taking time out of your Saturday evening to hear this. I'm warning you right now, I have no time limit on how long I'm going to go tonight. It's just wherever my heart desires. So if you have to log off for whatever reason, that's perfectly okay, especially for those of you on the East Coast, because it's late your time. You'll be going close to 11 and midnight. So if you have to log off, that's completely understandable. I am recording this training as well. Just like I did the last mindset training, and I'm comparing, the different weeks that I do it, but we're using the same slide, so you're going to get some good information here. And if you want to be able to take notes, go ahead and take notes. Bring out a pen and paper. So let's go ahead and get started and understand what mindset means, because mindset is everything. I want to say that again. Mindset is everything. The 6 inches between your ears is what determines your life. Not how talented you are, not how great in physical attributes you may have or outside appearance, But it's all in what you think, because when you think about something, it's what you do. And I always have, you ever heard of that glass half full, half empty mentality? I always have the glass is half full mentality rather than half empty. And I didn't always used to be that way. I used to be one of the most negative people you could think of. No matter what the situation was, I could find something wrong with the situation and be negative about it. And most of us are like that. We think it's natural, but it's a learned trait. But you think it's natural because it's habit now. You don't have to think about being negative. You just do it. You don't have to have bad thoughts. You just do so. And society has trained us to do so. When you turn on the TV, on the news, what do you see? Nothing but negativity. Nothing about negative energy that's being put out there. And there's a reason and a purpose for that. You have to understand that your mind is like a magnet. It attracts to it whatever vibrational frequency your mind is on at any given moment. Your mind is like a muscle. It's a tool. And it's a natural law. Whether you believe in it or not is irrelevant. Your opinion doesn't matter on this subject. If you think 300-400 years ago, when people thought that the world was flat and that the world was the center of the universe, and if you were in school at the time and you took a test and the question was, is the earth the center of the universe or the sun? And you say, or the solar system, and you say the earth, guess what? You got it right. But does that mean it's correct? No. The sun is. So these are certain facts that are irrefutable. So the mind is a magnet, and whatever it is that you're thinking about is what you attract right back into your life. Have you ever heard of a gentleman named Earl Nightingale? He was tutored by Napoleon Hill, and I know a lot of you have heard of Napoleon Hill. Wrote a book called Think and Grow Rich. Think, what's that first word? Think and grow rich. Not grow rich and then start to think. It doesn't work that way. Think and grow rich. People say, well, Brandon, that's not true. One person just won a $500 million lottery ticket. They didn't do nothing special other than go down to the grocery store and plop $2 down and buy the ticket. Well, let me tell you something about that. Over 70% of lottery winners go broke after 10 years. And most of them say that they wish they never won the lottery. You want to know why? See, most people never develop skills necessary to earn that type of income. And once they have it, they definitely didn't have the skills necessary to keep it. All money did, and you have to understand that money is a resource. Money is energy. It's not money just for money. Money is just an energy. And the more resources and energy you have, the more you're able to express whatever habits and character you currently have. What does that mean? Well, where you are today is the sum result of every decision you've made in your life until this point, including your bank account. So whatever your mindset is right now is not putting more money in your account. It's doing the opposite, actually, because each year we're getting more debt and more debt and more debt. So somebody that wins a lottery with a debt mentality, every year they get in debt, debt, debt. Allen Iverson blew $150 million 3 years after he leaves the NBA. He had the wrong mindset. Antoine Walker blew $120 million that he's made in less than 5 years after he's out of the NBA. He had a wrong mindset. So you must understand and know where you are and accept it. It's okay. It's okay if you don't have a great mindset right now. Because all that means now is you took a step in knowing that you don't. It's called now you consciously know that you don't know anything. Right? It's much better than not knowing that you don't know anything. You know, that ignorance is bliss type deal. But Earl Nightingale said, the strangest secret is that you become what you think about most of the time. You become what you think about most of the time. So wherever you are right now, it's a result of your thought process. Now that you know that, the question is, what are you going to do about it? How do you fix this? Well, you must change your thought process. If you want things in your life to change, you must change the things in your life. Does that make sense? Well, some people that might go over their head. But if you want things in your life to change, you must change the things in your life, including the people that surround you. Birds of a feather flock together. Winners do not hang out with losers, and losers do not hang out with winners. It doesn't work that way. And the first thing you need to do to change your mindset is change your attitude. Attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference. It makes a huge difference. It is everything. Everything. Life happens to all of us. Nobody is exempt from the pressures of life. Life will beat you down more than any bully, any husband or wife, anybody can. Life is going to happen regardless. What matters is how you react to it. What is your attitude towards it? That makes all the difference, because your attitude will take you in one direction or another. Is the glass half full or half empty? It's all in how you see things. Know your why. And this is very important. Why are you here? And this training is not just for Vitel. This is training that will benefit you in anything that you do in life. I got to tell you, after 4 years of higher education learning at Morehouse College, I learned more about life and business when I joined a network marketing company called ACN. It's where I got my first training. It's where I've got all this information from. Stuck with me all these years. And they said, know your why. Because when you start off from elementary school, all the way through high school, all the way through college, into the real world, you're doing what you're told. You don't really know why. You're told what your why is. Well, you need to have a house with a white picket fence and a family. You need to have a car to show off to the neighbors. You know, you need to be on the PTA team. You need to go to school. We're told to do those things. It's only after you graduate from college when you realize that was a total BS full of lies. That might have worked 50 years ago. That doesn't work today. And when you finally realize that and you have your wake-up moment and you decide, I need to do something different. So you join a home-based business. Imagine you driving down the freeway in rush hour traffic and you decide to take that exit that nobody has ever gotten off of before. That's what you're doing. And there's not too many people ahead of you to follow. And some of the ones that did, their car broke down and they turned around and got right back on the freeway with everybody else. You think it's the fast lane. It's just nobody goes down that road. Why? Why are you doing it? Why are you willing to put up with all of the hassle that this is going to bring by doing something you've never done before? Now, on the spreadsheet it says time with family, college education for children. You want a new home, be debt-free, family vacation, give more time to church, retirement. Be able to buy toys like a boat, car, RV, and etc., right? Yeah, that sounds great, but that's not good enough. Because those are things you want on your job right now. And it's not enough to make you do something different. Right? You know, I even hear this. I hear leaders in this industry say, your why should be something that makes you cry. If it doesn't make you cry, it's not strong enough. BS. I'm going to write a book on this. BS. I call BS on that. You want to know why? Because everybody cries about something. Everybody cries that they don't have enough for their family. That they didn't have enough money to buy their daughter that prom dress that she wanted. That they don't have enough money to buy their son those those Nike Jordans that he wants so bad. That they don't have enough to do this or that. That a relative passed away across the country and they can't even get a plane ticket to attend the funeral. There are a lot of things that we cry about. But here's the problem with that. And I know people challenge me all the time because they always say, well, Brandon, don't you say that emotions are the most powerful force in the universe? That is absolutely true. Emotions outweigh everything. It doesn't matter what the facts are. When the emotions in the mind is right, facts don't matter. But when it comes to crying, crying is an emotional release. You feel better after you cry. You got it out of your system. It is not a motivating factor, or everybody would be where they want to be right now because everybody cries. So that's not good enough. You can't rely on that. But I'm going to give you a little bit of help. Since this is late at night, I'm going to give you an assignment. Before you go to sleep tonight, I want you to think in this process. And then later, I want you to make an assignment. Make yourself a dream board, or what I do, I make dream videos. I have hundreds of them on my computer. Dream videos for whatever mood I'm in at the time. Tony Robbins taught me how to change your physiology, change your mood whenever you want. So whenever I want, I just put in the right dream board for myself with the right music attached to it, and I change my mood instantly. But before you go to sleep tonight, I want you to think about what would you do if money was no longer an issue in your life. That's right. Money was no longer an issue in your life. Hold on though. Hold on. This is after you went on a major shopping spree. You went to Paris, New York, and Beverly Hills. You bought everything you wanted to buy. You bought your dream house on the East Coast and West Coast. You bought your grandma and your cousins' houses. You got cars. You paid for your family to go to school, including extended family you never heard of, but they found out you got money and they're knocking on your door. You paid all the money you wanted to charities and your church and tithing. You went on a 6-month vacation tour around the world, and you come back and wake up on Monday morning, and it's a year later. And you wake up when you finish sleeping. You ever heard of that concept before? Not to an alarm clock. Not even to kids waking you up. You wake up when your body is actually finished sleeping. And you realize that you have nowhere you have to go. And then you think, well, I'm rich. But you bought everything that you wanted to buy. There does come a time when you have everything that you want. You really have to put your mind at work on what to buy next. I think there was a movie years ago that said you had to spend like $1 million in 24 hours or something. And people had a hard time spending all that money. There's no major difference between somebody who has $100 million in the bank and someone who has $500 million in the bank. They both can buy the same thing. So now that you've done all of that, what would you do with your life? What would you do with your day? Think about what God-given talents have you been blessed with that you weren't allowed to do because you're on a job 60 hours a week. Now you have the time to do it. What would you do? And here's the most important part. The most important part of this is, how does it feel to be in that position? Take yourself out of your current reality and pretend like kids do. My son right now still thinks he's Iron Man, my 5-year-old. You can't tell him otherwise. But pretend that that is your life. How does it make you feel? And then to hold and capture that feeling. Because when you wake up in the morning, you're going to feel a little bit better than normal. And here's why. Your brain doesn't sleep. Your brain only knows what you tell it to know. Your brain doesn't know that you're not rich. If you tell your brain you're rich, your brain will believe you're rich, And if your brain believes you're rich, it starts vibrating at a different frequency and sending that frequency out there into the universe. And when that happens, it's like a magnet. It starts to attract the same frequency back to itself. You ever heard of the law of attraction? This is how it works. And this isn't something new. This isn't New Age. This isn't Scientology. This is a fact. A scientific, proven fact. I am a Christian. And when I was a little boy, I was taught this in Sunday school. I didn't understand it, but I was taught it. It's taught in the Bible. And I remember when I would get sick, my mom, she would say, before I go to sleep, say your prayers and thank the Lord for healing you. And I'm like, all right, Mom, I'll thank the Lord for healing me when I get better. Oh, no. You need to be grateful for the miracle He's going to do. But that doesn't make any sense. Now, I'm a kid now. In my mind, I'm like, what are you talking about? Be grateful for the miracle He's going to do. Heal me and see how grateful I'm going to be. Isn't that how we are right now in our lives? Man, I wish if I had more money, I'd be happy. If I had more money, I would smile and be nice to people. If my kids just did this, I'd be happy. Isn't that what we do now? Right? So you want to be thankful and grateful. And I asked my mom why. She said, no. Because it's already a done deal. It just hasn't hit you yet. So be thankful for it because God is almighty. What? And I never got it until much later, as I'm older. The reason why she said that, here's the scientific law behind that. When you trick your brain to believe that you're healed, it tells your body that you're healed. And your body releases endorphins and releases all the blood vessels and all the healing stuff to fix itself. It's called the power of belief. As opposed to you believing that you're sick, your brain tells your body that it's sick. That's the scientific fact behind the faith and belief that Christians understand. And I didn't get this until almost I was an adult when I understood this concept. And it's the same here. You need to attract these things in your life because right now you're not attracting these things in your life the way you're thinking. So obviously you have to think differently. So open yourself up. Because here's the thing. Let's say you have negative thoughts and then you have one good thought. And then that one good thought attracts something to you, but you have so many other negative thoughts, it acts as a repellent. It can't get through and you block yourself from receiving any of these blessings. That's why you have to be thankful and have gratitude and trick your brain into believing so. And now that you know what it feels like, the next day or in any given time, you may be feeling down. You may be feeling upset. You think about that feeling again, and you immediately will change how your body feels and how your brain reacts. This takes practice. It doesn't happen overnight. Right now, all I'm doing is exposing you to something. You will have to do your own research. I can give you some books. I can give you some authors to listen to. Like Bob Proctor, Jim Rohn, Napoleon Hill, Earl Nightingale, John C. Maxwell. What else do I want to put in there? Wallace D. Wattles, Zig Ziglar, Les Brown. All of them understand this, and the way they teach, they have their own style of teaching the same information. Especially Tony Robbins. It's like I had my aha moment when I figured out what he's doing, because he was taught by Jim Rohn, who was taught by Earl Nightingale, who was taught by Napoleon Hill, who was taught by the world's richest man, Andrew Carnegie, or Dale Carnegie, I'm getting confused, who knew the secret that all wealthy people understood. And they all have their own way of teaching it. Next, I'm getting too long in that one slide. You must set short-term and long-term goals. I was listening to Les Brown earlier. Actually, I was on Carlos St. John's training earlier today, and he was playing a Les Brown clip. And one thing Les Brown said was, he said, oh, my mind just went blank right when I said Les Brown. Here he said, Les Brown said, the problem with most people is not that they aim too high and miss, is that they aim too low and hit. It's all about setting goals. Short-term goals. Let's talk about business goals. Where do you want to be in your short-term business goal? Where do you want to be? You must set it. How much money do you want to make in your first 30 days? How fast do you want to get promoted to your first position? Set this goal. My first short-term goal in the business was getting to $1,000 a month in residual income. Because in my life, $1,000 extra on top of what I was making on my job would have got some bill collectors off my back and stopped calling my house. And not only would they call my house, they'd call my parents' house. And you know how embarrassed it is to be a grown man and have your dad calling you talking about, oh, this bill collector called here for you. Like a constant reminder, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing type deal. So that was one of the main things. If I can get to $1,000 extra, I can get the bill collectors off my back. That was a short-term goal. And did it. 30 days, I think? A little over 30 days, got to $1,000 a month. And then you have long-term goals. Long-term goal. What do I want to be in long-term goal? Well, my long-term goal was to be walked off my job and earn at least $10,000 a month before the year was out. That was my long-term goal. Ended up doing that in 3.5 months. But I set the goal. See, that's important. You don't always reach your goal. I had one goal last year. I wanted to have 5,000 reps on my team by July. That didn't happen. We had 3,000. Didn't happen. But if I didn't set it that high, I might have only ended up with 1,500. And once you set your short-term and long-term goal, then you can work with, what do I have to do to make this happen? This is the mistake 99% of people do. They don't focus on what they want. They focus on what they have to do to get it. And they think it's impossible. And they quit. You're focused on the how. Do not focus on the how. Focus on what you want and why. The how will work itself out. You work backwards. When Donald Trump decides that he wants something, he just decides that he wants it. And after he makes the decision, then he comes to a plan on how to get it. My son was watching a show on, it was either the History Channel or National Geographic or Discovery. And it was titled The Men Who Built America. And they highlighted Andrew Carnegie, they highlighted Henry Ford, they highlighted J.P. Morgan. And one thing that, also I'm missing one more, Rockefeller. One thing that Rockefeller did when he met Carnegie, and Carnegie owned all the railroads, and Rockefeller owned a couple of oil mines. And he made a deal with Carnegie to produce a certain amount of oil to be shipped on the trains. Carnegie couldn't even produce half of what he promised. Rockefeller couldn't produce half of what he promised Carnegie to deliver. He didn't worry about that. He just said, this is what I can do. And then once he made the decision, on his way home, he figured out the how. It seemed impossible, but he made it happen. If he thought about it the other way, like we normal people do, he would have never made it happen. And it took me over 10 years to figure this out. About 10 years. I had my epiphany maybe almost 4 years ago. My aha moment. I listened to a training called Your Wish is Your Command by Kevin Trudeau. And it's like a light bulb went off in my head that I finally got it. And almost overnight, my life changed. And I haven't looked back ever since. I've been able to succeed in every single thing I touched from that point forward. And the shift was, I said I wanted to make an extra $10,000 by the end of the year. But what was holding me back was I was looking at what was going on in my life at that point. And I'm like, with what I'm working with, there's absolutely no way I'm gonna be able to earn an extra 10 grand. Not with this group of people. And I don't have anybody that I know that I can talk to that's gonna come in and save the day. I don't have another superstar out there that wants to look at my opportunity. It's impossible that I'm gonna get an extra 10,000. That's what I was thinking, because I was looking at my current situation. And looking at it like that, I blocked what I wanted before I even tried. And men have a hard time with this because we want to be problem solvers. Women don't have this type of situation as much as men do. Because when women have an issue and they complain and they vent, they're not always looking for a solution. They just want to vent. Okay? I have a wife. I have a lot of women on my team. They're not looking for a solution. They just want to vent to get it out. That's why they talk to their girlfriends about it. None of them are coming up with a solution. But as men, we need to have a solution. And that's what holds us back. And so the shift came when Kevin Trudeau said, focus on what you want. Don't worry about the how. Because the way the universe works is like this. We are a small speck in this universe. A small speck. And we can't possibly see how the universe actually works, nor comprehend it. We're looking at our life through a magnifying glass. Here's an example. If you ever go to an ant hill and you want to get a closer look at the ants, you get yourself a magnifying glass. You can only see the ants that's underneath that magnifying glass, right? Like a sonar radar on a submarine or at an airport. You only see what's on the radar. Does that mean that there's things going on outside of that radar that you can't possibly see? What do they say in the Bible? You know, have vision without sight. Believe. We can't see the wind, but we believe it's there. We can't see air, but we believe it's there. You got to have the belief that things are happening outside of your control and outside of your field of vision. That's going to impact what's going on inside your little magnifying glass. I didn't think of things that way. That opened my eyes when I heard that for the first time. I was like, wow. Here's another example I heard. They said, people don't understand that they get exactly what they ask for. They just don't get it the way they want it. And you may have an individual who says, I am sick and tired of my job. I want something better out of life. This job is holding me back. And you know what happens? They get laid off from their job. How do they respond? I can't believe I got laid off from my job. I prayed to God for something better. I want more out of life. I'm sick and tired of struggling. And what happens? I now lose my job, which means I'm going to struggle more. Was not looking at the big picture. Because you know what the little picture is? Yeah, you just lost your job and lost your little bit of income you had. But what you don't understand is that losing your job now makes you available to get a better job. An opportunity may come in front of you that could have never happened if you were on that job. But you're so distraught that when the opportunity does present itself, you don't even see it. What does that mean? Ladies, have you ever bought a dress? And then you notice everybody else has the same doggone dress as you. Or you bought shoes. And so you start to notice these shoes all over the place. I just bought my wife, she wanted this beach cruiser. And now that she has the bike, we drive around the city, and it's like everywhere we look, somebody's got a bike just like hers. Now what happened? Were these bikes always there, or did they just magically appear? No, they were always there. We just never noticed them. Now all of a sudden we see them. You see how things work? Your mind has to be open and receptive, or it's not going to be able to see the opportunity. Wealthy people are able to seize the opportunity out of every situation, whether positive or negative. As a matter of fact, they never see a negative situation. All they see are results. That's it. There's no bad. It's just results. As a matter of fact, when things are bad as a whole, they make more money than everybody else. You ever wonder why? It's because of how they react. The poor and weak-minded, all of us, we react like the sky is falling. The wealthy, the successful, look for the opportunity in this situation and seize on it. And it breaks the gap between them and the poor. Because the poor get worse, the wealthy get richer. See, it's not in doing certain things, it's doing things in a certain way. You understand? So I'm spending a lot of time here on the goals part. You must set your goals. And when you set your goal, you see it through. There is no quit. There's no quit once you set a goal. You don't quit till the goal is achieved. And then you set a new goal. And then you set a new goal. You will see the wealthiest people in the world still have goals. I was sitting down with a $150 million man 2 weeks ago, and he had goals. He had just accomplished taking a company from 13 million to 160 million and going public and making a whole lot of money, and now he had new goals set. One of them is Vitel. They don't. You just move on to the next goal. It takes time to grow anything. It takes time to grow anything. What does that mean? How can I break this down, the average? Okay, here's the easiest way. People, you must understand that where you are today, like I said earlier, is the sum result of every decision you've made. So you have now developed 30 years of bad habits to get you to where you are. 30, some of you 40 years. And then you join a home-based business because you saw somebody do a presentation that you can earn $10,000 a month, and you're like, yeah, if I had $10,000 a month, all the answers to my problems have been solved. And you join a home-based business. And after 30 days, you spent what, $140? You didn't make $10,000, so you quit. How in the world do you expect to change 30 years of bad habit in 30 days? See, I'll use the brain as an example. The brain has electrical neurons in your head, and whenever you have a thought process, a neuron activates itself and shoots an electric current across the brain. And some neurons are bigger than others. The brain pattern waves, or the stems, they're thicker and they're stronger. And the part of your brain that takes all negativity is always much thicker and stronger than the part of your brain that takes in positivity. Why is that the case? Because the brain is a muscle. The more you use it, the more it gets stronger. Well, you've spent the majority of your life dealing with pain, problems, issues, negativity. And so when you have those thoughts, it goes through those stems easily, smoothly. Right? But when you have a positive thought, since it's smaller, it's harder to get through from one side of the brain to the other. It doesn't have as much punch, impact. So like a muscle, you have to stretch it out. And it doesn't happen overnight. It's like pushing a rock up the hill. It's hard, right? And then once you get to the top, then you start to go the downhill. You don't have to push that rock anymore. It starts rolling by itself. It becomes easy. So that's where you are right now in your life. To change your life, you're going to be pushing a rock up the hill. You're doing something you've never done before. You're making your muscles stronger. Then they're going to get so strong that it's going to be easier pushing that rock. And then you're going to get to the point where it just slides down the hill easily. Are you willing to put that time into your own personal growth in your business? If not, go back to where you belong, in that cubicle. Have realistic expectations. When you plant a seed, you got to water the seed, right? Think about that. Does it grow if you don't water the seed? No. Does it grow if you just sit there and stare at it? No. But does that stop you from watering the seed? This goes back to the postcard training this morning, guys. Just because you did it 1 month, you got to continue to water the seed. And then all of a sudden it starts to grow. But take the bamboo tree, for example. It is the seed that takes the longest to sprout from the ground in the world. Sometimes it may take years for a bamboo seed to start to grow. But you keep watering it, you keep watering it, you keep watering it. Then all of a sudden when it breaks ground, it becomes the fastest growing tree in the world. And it just shoots right up. Almost overnight, like a miracle. Tyler Perry talked about this. He said when he first got started, he said people look at him and they look at the success he's having right now, but they don't want to look at what he had to do to get to where he is. They don't want to go through that. They want all the fame. They want all the easy stuff now. They want all the accolades and rewards now, but they don't want to go through what it takes to have it. He spent 8 years trying to get his little play off the ground, using his own money when people time after time said you better quit. You're wasting all your money. He kept believing. He kept pushing. And then all of a sudden, wow, Tyler Perry's worth like $300 million. How'd that happen? It wasn't overnight. So in your business, this is where the long-term goals happen. If you have the mindset right now, and I had a talk with a gentleman earlier today, and I hope he's listening, because I told him this. Instead of focusing on how much it's going to cost you every single month, focus on how much you can make every single month. I'm telling you, that is a huge difference. A huge difference. Instead of focusing on how much it costs, focus on how much you can make. When I joined Vitel, I had a job and I was a top producer in another company. But I live in California. Cost of living is extremely high. I had so many bills on my back that it still wasn't enough. And I didn't even have the $69 it cost to get started. Let me rephrase that. I had it, but I had to take it from something else. Like food. I'm not joking. This is the truth. I mean, and think about this. All I saw was, you mean I got to pay, at the time it was $99 a month. We didn't have Diamond. I got to pay $99 a month? I can't even afford $69. How am I going to afford $99 next month? Of course I didn't think like that. I had already had my aha moment at this time. And indeed, I was far better off than I used to be. So don't get me wrong there when I say I was struggling last year. I was, but I was far better off than where I used to be. Things just happen in life that you got to take care of. A lot of people couldn't understand because I was making more money than them. But check this out. All I saw was, how much money can I make? I made my money back in my first 2 hours in business. Wealth 101 or business 101. how fast to get your ROI, return on investment, back and be in profit. How fast can you be in the black? I was in the black my first 2 hours, and I've never spent a dime of my own money ever since. Think about that. Profit from day one. I wasn't concerned about how much it cost. All I cared about was how much can I make, and now let me make it happen. Let me go to work. And I don't sleep until it's done. But no, it's going to take time to grow your business. Stay consistent and work your business. It won't work unless you work it. I had a gentleman that signed up with me. This was last year. And he signed up, and he said, I don't know, 2 months later, "Oh, Brandon, I'm disappointed with Vitel." This is his exact words. "I'm disappointed with Vitel. It didn't work. I'm quitting." I said, let me ask you a question. Why are you disappointed with Vitel? Because it didn't deliver on what it promised. What did Vitel promise you? It promised that it was going to pay my bills and that I was going to make $1,000 a month. Did you miss anywhere in there where it said you actually have to go to work? It wasn't a lottery ticket. He said, "I only have one person on my team, and you, Mr. Ivey, you didn't move anybody under me." Really? Is that what you were waiting for? Me to do the work for you? How many people did you have on your team? One? No, I didn't. He said a whole lot more, Lou. I didn't say everything. But how many people did you have on your team? One. Okay. How many presentations have you been on since you signed up in the business? One. The first one I got on when I signed up in the business. So why didn't you get on any other presentations? I mean, isn't it the same information, Brandon? I mean, I've heard you once. It's like I'm hearing you twice. Why do I have to hear it all over again? I already heard you once. Okay, I see. So how many people did you actually tell about the business? Well, one. And that person signed up? Yes. So you're batting 1,000%, huh? 100%. Why didn't you tell more people? I don't know. Well, don't you think if you told more people, you might have more people in the business? I guess so. But the business doesn't work. They charging my account every single month, and I don't want my account to get charged again. See what he keeps going back to? He's more concerned about the cost. Understand this, ladies and gentlemen. No matter what you decide to do in life, there is a cost. The cost can be in money, or the cost can be in time, or both. But rest assured, there is always a cost. Always. He didn't work the business. He never got on a training. He never even signed up. See, I send a welcome email out to every single person that signs up with me with instructions. He never even followed the instructions to get on our mailing list because he didn't even know when the webinars were. The one thing that really irks me is when people constantly text me or shoot me a message on Facebook asking when the next presentation is going to be. Really? Understand, ladies and gentlemen, that this is your business. And as such, it's your responsibility to know these things. Get yourself a calendar. We already have the schedule of events on our website. We already send a daily email update every single day. It also trips me out that my phone, I don't know why this is, but my phone always tends to blow up with texts and calls while I'm doing a webinar. And it's always from the people who need to be on here the most. You guys get that? The people who need it the most are the ones blowing my phone up, and then they get mad when I don't respond fast enough because I'm doing the presentation. Oh yeah, I've been cursed out before because I didn't call back fast enough. But you must work your business. It's not going to work unless you work it. You cannot expect to reap a harvest if you have not sowed any seed. You must put in some time if you want to get time. You see this picture here, this farmer. when you plant your seed, when is the harvest? The next season. You don't wait till the springtime to start planting your seed. That's when it grows. So you got to sow your seed. It takes time. It does not happen overnight. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So if you have it in your mind right now that you're only giving it 30 to 60 days, quit right now. Quit right now. The reason why I say so is because if you're not willing to commit to yourself, I am not willing to commit to you. I am not going to put all of my time and effort just so that you can quit and leave in 30 days from now. My goal is to help 1,000 people earn at least $1,000 a month and then move them to $10,000 a month. And I know this is a process. You're not going to get it in your first couple of months. So do me a favor and yourself a favor if you're not willing to give it that. And what I mean by that is, would you willing to still be here if 6 months went by and you didn't make one dime? Why do I say it like this? And it took me a long time to get this as well. Because the amount of income that you earn goes hand in hand with where your personal development is right now. And this includes so-called top people in the industry. You must understand this. They're no different than you. Your personal development determines your income. The Paris Hiltons, Lindsay Lohans, Kim Kardashians. That's not what I'm talking about here. That's a different field. And you see the issues and problems that they're going through. Just because they have money means absolutely nothing. So you must put in the time. The playoffs are happening right now. Did they just roll over out of bed and then walk on the court? No, they've been preparing for this all year long. Preparation for this moment. Everybody's working to get into June in the NBA. Prepare your whole life for this moment. But they had to put in the time, the hours in the gym, the hours of practicing. Why do you think you're the exception to the rule? Yes, you are special. God made you special. You're not that special. All right? This is very important. Ignorance on fire is way better than intelligence on ice. What does that mean? What does that mean? You got to be excited about what you're doing. I cringe when I'm on the phone with people. I'm going to start calling them out now. And I hear it in their voice. There's like no excitement, no enthusiasm. Oh, yeah. I signed up in the business and okie doke, da-dun. Nobody wants to hear that. Well, if you're not excited about what you're doing, why should somebody else be? You have to understand human nature. Set yourself on fire, people are going to come watch you burn. If you're not excited about it, they're not going to be excited about it. You can know 100% of the facts of this business, but you don't have excitement about it. That's paralysis of analysis. Analyze things way too much. When I joined this business, I just did it. I was so excited. All I heard was they're going to pay my cell phone bill and give me a car allowance. That's all I heard. I'll figure out the rest as I go. I didn't analyze nothing. I let Dr. Smith analyze that stuff. He understood this far before I ever did. Next. Start to develop the right mental attitude. Have long-term thinking. Treat your business like $1 million business, not $100 business. This is important. This again, that glass half full or half empty. Are you focused on how much it costs or how much you're going to make? All I want to do, my long-term goal is 6 figures a month. That's $100,000 a month and growing. That's my goal. Too many people are focused on, I can't afford, $99 or $69. I can't afford it. Where I'm looking at, I can't afford to let $99 stop me from what I'm doing. You guys understand the difference? I couldn't afford to let $99 stop me. And I look in the mirror, and I advise you guys to do this every once in a while. And every 3 or 4 months, I do this to myself. I go in the bathroom, close the door, look in the mirror, and I have real talk with myself. And back in the day, I did this, and I said, you're a grown man, graduate from college, husband and a father, working full time, and you don't have an extra $100 a month to your name. How sad is that? What are you willing to do about it? Are you going to cry about it? Are you going to pity party about it? Are you going to use that as an excuse? It's called having yourself a gut check moment. So I treat this business like $1 million business because that's what I want to get paid. You treat it like a $100 business, you're only going to make $100. I don't worry about how much it costs every month because I spend thousands of dollars right back into my own business. I didn't start out that way. The more money I made, the more money I put back into my business. I can't wait to the day where I actually put $10,000 a month right back into my business, because that lets me know I'm making $1 million. You see the difference? This is not a hobby. If you treat it like a hobby, you'll get paid like a hobby. Doesn't mean that that's wrong. It's just where you want to be. You decide. If your goal is just to make a $250 a month, great. Do it. If your goal is to make $1,000 a month, do it.